is Raven.
We have a guest speaker
We
today.
do. She's trying to eat all the cords.
We introduced Raven.
Yeah, this is Raven.
And my name is Yabi. And I am 25. I have an almost 6-year-old at home as well as a 2-week-old today. Yes, honey. You'll have friends later.
Yes.
Soon.
Yes, very soon.
And you can go next.
All right. I'm Erika, and this is Raven. I'm 27 years old. Raven is 7 months old. As you can tell, this age is great. She just wants to touch everything, and she's screaming over her mother.
There's going to be a lot of that. That doesn't get
There
easier.
is. So basically, this is what the podcast is going to be about. How, we can't control certain things that happen every day when you're a mom. And how we would like to, but it just doesn't happen that way.
We're moms first.
Yeah.
And I left those two at home. But sometimes we can't.
No?
And you'll probably be seeing my two throughout the series down the line. And the Parental Control podcast is really meant to showcase that we're parents going through what parents go through raising kids, as well as dealing with our own I don't want to say issues, but our own healing process, healing journey,
From the way that, we were raised.
the differences in generations, and also what we're trying to do with our own kids. And again, nobody can control everything.
No.
We want to be in control as much as possible, and I think that's where a lot of the anxiety is, and the depression, all of those mental health factors when it comes to being a parent, when all of that comes into play, because we do so much and try to control so much, and we cannot control life.
No.
So
We cannot.
this is it.
I think the fact that no one talks about, the fact that parents don't always have it together. I think a lot of times on social media we see, the perfect little families, all these bloggers who have, the perfect spouse, the perfect child, the perfect house, the perfect this. And, we're just trying to showcase the real part that people don't want to talk about, because people don't like sharing the ugly parts about themselves.
It's not what sells, but we're not here to sell. We're
No.
here to help.
We are.
And
Big old verb.
that was a good one.
That was a good one, little girl.
Now, with that in mind, also, we are new to podcasting and recording videos and everything. It took us 30 minutes to get set up, learn how to use everything, and then get started and just press the record button.
Yeah.
So keep in mind that part of it, we'll be editing things for quality purposes.
And she's farting.
And
All right. Sorry,
the
guys.
realness.
This
The realness.
is, yeah.
This is it.
Your children fart on you all the time.
But we're going to try and keep it as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
We don't want to showcase a side of us having it all together today. I actually attempted to get dressed today for the first time in months. And I actually washed my hair, and not just shampooed it, not just conditioned it. I shampooed and conditioned today for this, just because first impressions matter.
Yeah.
But this is not going to be the every week thing, because I am a sweatpants type of person. Sweatpants and jeans, t-shirt. She found her feet.
Oh, yeah. She's just sucking on those toes.
So
Yeah, this is, I don't know how many days old this hair is. That's why it's up in a bun. I'm very lucky that my mother, yes, your Grammy, she's there in the mornings for me, so I'm able to get ready. And what makes me feel most like myself is me doing my makeup every day. And I know each of us have really like our own like one thing that we have to do to make sure that we feel ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like an act of self-care to make sure that we're not losing ourselves as we go through motherhood.
Which we'll go through a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff and the details in future references. We kind of just want today to set the expectation of what you guys can expect from us and what we want you guys to take from this. We are kind of winging it as days go by. We have like bullet points to make sure we hit what we want to hit in the time frame we have, but we really just wing it. Nothing is scripted here. Nothing is
I know it's just really hard to focus when there's a baby with toes in her mouth.
So yeah, we're just kind of winging it, and we hope that you guys enjoy the content we provide. As we get a little more into things, we will be a little more regular and bringing you guys into the loop a lot more. If some of you have noticed, we've been posting on the Instagram some questions and things for you guys to interact with and reminders for you all. And also a very important note, the podcast is more for parents, and we're moms, so we're speaking from the standpoint of moms, but this is for dads, aunts, uncles. This is for anyone that has a parenting role in a child's life, period. Any age, whatever you want to take from this, take from it. If you want us to speak on something from a different standpoint and you'd like to maybe even provide a story or feedback on that, we'd be happy to hear it. Showcase it. Yes.
She's got a lot to say.
Just like that. So we're going to be taking even babies. We'll be able to talk on the show.
Yeah.
Let us know how we're doing.
Yeah. What do you think, Raven?
How's mommy doing? I think that's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
No tears. So that's a good sign.
That is a good sign. Two, we really want you guys to be involved with this as possible because we want to help, and we know that different people go through different things. And we just want to make sure, we're hitting points that you guys can relate to as well. So we want you to interact with us as much as possible to make this work.
This is a journey not just for us, but also for you guys.
Yeah.
And we want to know what you want to hear.
Yes.
So
I think too, from time to time we'll have some guests. If I know a couple people that said, oh, I'd love to be on it. So we will be having guests from time to time. I think once we have like the hang of this and we're able to figure it out ourselves, then we can have guests. But that's another thing, that we're hopeful for the future with the podcast.
yeah, definitely. What else are we missing?
Let's see.
I was supposed to do note cards,
Yeah.
so I hit everything, and I went to bed at 12, and the baby's 2 weeks old, so he is waking up every 3 hours. I am pooped, needless to say.
Yes, and this morning I went to Brood Awakenings because I know that Yabi loves the Cookie Monster that they sell there, which is yummy.
Just sponsor me.
Yes, just sponsor us. Anyways, I was so proud of myself. I had her in her car seat, walked in, walked out, had a tray with the 2 drinks in it, had my bagel, drove here. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm doing such a great job all by myself. And I walked up the stairs with it. I had this tray in my hand. It was great. I sat down, put the tray down, was getting to know, Jody. And someone was like, oh, those look like really good drinks. And I was like, oh, they really are. And I went to go pick up the tray, and the Cookie Monster dropped, splattered all over the floor, making a great first impression.
But you know what? That's what this is.
And that's just life. So, all over my white shoes. Oh, bless you. Yeah, so that's just, one example of things you can't control.
At all. As I was leaving the house, the baby started crying, needed his diaper changed, woke up wanting a bottle. I left the 6-year-old to feed him because Dad was in the kitchen making breakfast too. So it was just a hot mess. And then I was supposed to be here for 10. I left my house at 9:55. Anybody that knows me knows I'm already late for everything. But I was done on time is the thing.
That's good.
For once. I was done on time.
Small steps.
So
right? That's what it's all about.
Maybe next time I'll leave the house at 9:50.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get it together.
You seem like you have a lot to say, Raven. How are those toes tasting?
Yummy.
Yeah, yummy. This little one last night, she's been going through a phase where she will not sleep anywhere but in bed with me, which is just wonderful. I'm already paranoid as it is, so I'm not even sleeping when she's sleeping next to me. She first started off the first 4 months. She was sleeping in her bassinet for 9 to 12 hours, and we were like, this is great. What did we do to deserve this? And it was once I went back to work, she started waking up a couple times in the night, and you hear a lot of people, even her pediatrician, saying cry it out, let them just cry out in their crib. I, for some reason, get a physical reaction to her cries, her cry screams, and I have to instantly pick her up. And I don't know if it's because I can't stand to watch her cry, or if it's because, I know that I need sleep to work the next day, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep her quiet so that I can actually get some sleep to help myself. So we've tried a couple things. She's been, we tried putting her in the bassinet when she falls asleep. When she falls asleep in the bed, sound asleep. But she wakes up. She was up twice last night to eat.
Mm-hmm. You're telling your side of the story. That's not how it happened?
No, that's not how it happened. She's saying, I am so hungry at night that I just need to eat. Yeah? Look at these cheeks. Little pork chop.
So,
yeah. I'm going to grab her up.
That's a weird thing.
She's a sloppy baby, so gotta get her a burp cloth here. Wipe you up. God forbid your dad sees this, he'll have a conniption. She's so sloppy. You just want to stare at Yabi? All right.
What else are we missing? I think we pretty much covered everything. That wasn't so bad.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Oh my god, I was so nervous.
Look at that.
We did it.
We did. Okay, you can play with that. As long as you're not playing with the cords.
But also, obviously this is going to be recorded not just in the podcast format, but also YouTube. So also subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
We're going to really, really, really try. We're not going to make promises that we can't keep. No. But we are going to try to make it in every weekend so that we can at least record something, get it edited, and then sometime during the week drop it. I'm not working for a little while because of the baby, so as of right now, I think we might be able to, if I can figure things out, get it.
A lot of Googling.
get it to you guys like on Sunday or the day after we record, depending the day we record. We'll let you guys know when we are planning on recording. We'll do like a weekly like a question thing on Instagram, and you guys can ask questions that you guys want answered during the episodes. And
I think we actually have some from when we asked the day before we were supposed to record.
Yeah, that day. I went into labor, guys.
Yeah.
The day we were supposed to record. So little man wanted to delay the podcast for a little bit. He was like, I'm more important, which he was. So we got a late start on this.
All right, so we actually had one question. The question was, how easy was it to find help for the issues you were having after childbirth? I don't know if you want to go first.
I was already in therapy. I have major depression that I'm working on. I've been in therapy finally for the past year. I kind of always struggled with this problem, so I knew once things started getting bad that I needed to get some help. So I kind of already was in the middle of a process. So for me, it was really just pick someone, and I really feel comfortable with anyone for the most part. So it was okay for me of a process. One thing I didn't know about was when I got pregnant, I was still depressed and was having some anxiety issues too. And one thing I didn't know that they had is in Rhode Island at Women and Infants, they have the day hospital program, which is like a partial day, 9 to 3 program with therapy, focused groups, and like they give you more information, tools, and tips on how to manage your condition, bonding with baby, and things like that. For people that are, women that are pregnant and women who have postpartum depression or postpartum anxieties, things like that. That I didn't know it was a thing, and I know a lot of people don't know that it's a thing.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know it's available, and
that's actually where we met.
Yeah, that's actually where we met. Yabi was pregnant, and Raven was 3 months old, and that's how long it took for me to realize that I actually needed to get help. So easy in the sense where, for me, after I gave birth, I was experiencing some baby blues, and then, like a couple weeks later, I was just like, something doesn't feel right, I don't feel right. She's farting on me again. I said, this doesn't feel right, I shouldn't be feeling this way. And come my first appointment, and they gave me that questionnaire for the postpartum anxiety and depression, and I was about to lie on it, and I was like, don't, like, you have to be honest, because you have a little girl now, like, you have a baby, and you have to do what's right for you in order to do what's right for her. So I didn't lie, and I was really nervous. All my life growing up, I thought postpartum was you wanting to hurt your child. I didn't know that there were other aspects of it, because I didn't want to hurt her. I just felt like I didn't want to live. I felt like I wasn't good enough for her. And then also the fear of them, someone taking your children away from you because you feel this way is another fear. So after my appointment, they actually recommended the day program to me. And I just kept telling myself, I'll get through it on myself. I don't need it. And then once I hit that 3-month mark, I was pretty bad. So that's when I decided to call the hospital, step out of my comfort zone, because normally I would not walk into a place like that and feel comfortable at all, switching up a routine. So to do that was a really big step. but I think more now than before, it's easier to have the availability to get the help that you need, which is great.
I think it's there. You just, a lot of it is being honest with yourself.
Yes.
So it really depends on like what resources you might have around you, and going to people, speaking to your doctors. Please, everyone,
Yes,
be honest.
Be honest.
Be totally honest. It took me a long time to be honest with my doctors, not because I really didn't trust them, but I was scared. I was scared that I have, this was before I was pregnant, had my daughter, 5-year-old at the time, and I was scared that she was going to take him from me because I felt as bad as I did. I didn't tell family. I didn't tell friends how bad it was getting. I was withdrawing a lot from people during that time, which is one of the symptoms of depression. And I was just scared that my kid was going to get taken from me. But one thing that my doctors did tell me, and this is for all of you parents who are feeling the same thing, that the best thing you can do is get help. To be honest and get help. You acknowledge that something doesn't feel right, something isn't right, and you're getting the help that you need. That is the best thing you can do, and that shows that you are perfectly capable of taking care of your, not just yourself, but your child. So don't be scared to talk about those intrusive thoughts.
Yes.
So don't be scared to let someone in, because
they're gonna help.
It'll help. Even saying things out loud, it sucks.
Yes.
Admitting that you feel certain ways, because we, especially as parents, we feel as though we should have it all together. We should have this bond with our baby. We should know what to do. We should know by a month of having this child in the world that this cry means I want a bottle, and this cry means I need my diaper changed. There is no should. So the help is there. It's just the first thing that you need to do is be honest, and then that way you can better maneuver getting the help that you might need, because it might be just talking to someone. Maybe just letting a friend in might be enough. Maybe going to seek professional help might be enough. Maybe getting on medication might be enough. Maybe a combination of those things might be what is good for you. And when seeking therapists as well, don't be afraid to jump around.
Yes.
Because you might not, I said I'm pretty much comfortable with anyone. It really doesn't matter to me, but I do know people and totally, sorry.
Okay.
Totally understand
that was my fault.
Some people don't feel comfortable with just anyone. Some people want someone that looks like them. Someone feels more comfortable with someone that speaks a different language. The language that they speak at home first. So do your research, and even don't be afraid to go to a therapist and be like, do you think there might be someone closer to me? The commute is too long. Or do you know if there are any therapists that look like me, people of color, or if you're looking for someone that speaks Spanish, or Portuguese, whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to ask your therapist, because they completely understand and they're not going to take it personal. No. That you want someone there that you feel comfortable with. That is the number one thing. Find someone that you feel comfortable with. And they're not there to just pass the check. They want to help you also.
They do. I know for me, I have seen a couple counselors, and I ended up, saying I don't think therapy's for me. They're just not understanding. But it's good to look into the type of skills they use for therapy. Because I know for me, I needed someone that specializes in cognitive behaviors. And that just worked for me. It was this style of approaching, okay, this is what's wrong with me, seeing the science behind it for me, not someone saying, okay, like, well, we'll talk about that. Or, you know, for me, it was more, okay, I want the science behind it so I can make myself feel better knowing, okay,
understand.
this is why this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So different styles, make sure you find the right style that is best for what you need your therapy for. Too. Oh, she's a tired baby.
So, there's that. I don't think there's anything else we left out for that one. Google's your best friend. Don't diagnose yourself using
Not
Google.
in that sense.
But Google is your best friend in trying to find resources. And even if you're just calling around and just like asking, or can you point me in the direction? We all want to get better. The people in the profession want to help, whether it be with them or with another counselor. Just use those first steps.
Yes.
Get through the door if you feel like you need it.
This little girl needs to stand too. This
Bored.
is...
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She's a tired baby. She slept on the way here. But that's about it. She just doesn't like to sleep. Okay. Why don't we put you in the podcast chair? And you can tell us a couple things. What do you want everyone to know? What do you want everyone to know?
Oh no.
Oh, now you don't want to
You have
talk?
stage fright.
Oh, yeah. This big old microphone, you don't want to talk?
Hi, pretty girl.
You just
We having a
staring
staring
now?
contest? Because I'll lose. I think we really covered everything.
I think so too. I hope that you guys stick with us, even if, you know, you watch this and you're like,
These people are crazy.
wow, what are they doing? That's basically what we're saying to ourselves on a daily basis. Wow, what are we doing? But really, yeah, we just want feedback. We want to let us know, you know, things that you maybe think we should change, things that you want to hear us talk about. Again, just, you know, following us, giving us feedback. That's the best way that this is going to work for everyone. What do you think?
Bless you. Bless you.
Oh, bless you.
I think that's funny.
You're sneezy girl.
I
All right.
think that's it.
That's it.
We covered everything.
Yeah.
Set the expectation.
Oh, yeah.
We did it. Episode 1.
We did. I'm so proud of us.
Now we have to figure out how to edit this thing. So,
Wish us.
mission number 2 coming
You can do
soon.
that. Just throws her binky.
Hopefully, yeah.
I think we got this.
Hopefully we got
I
this.
think we got this.
Till next time.
All right. We'll see you guys. Say bye, Raven.